They are creatures that inspire both fear and admiration. As apex predators, their existence is not defined solely by the hunt, but also by bonds, by loyalty, and by affection. That is why they are called the social architects and the special forces of the wild. Their true power does not lie in claws as massive as a lion's, nor in jaws as crushing as a tiger's. Their superiority rests in endurance, stamina, and above all, cooperation. Wolves are also known as tireless wanderers. When a pack becomes overcrowded, a young wolf may leave to seek its own territory. On these journeys, they can cover up to 60 kilometers in a single day while hunting, and in extreme conditions, more than 100 kilometers in just 24 hours. That resilience alone sets them apart. And if you want to keep exploring more about these masters of survival, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more. For wolves, hunting is not simply about chasing prey or showing the raw strength of their fangs. Hunting is an art, a balance of patience, intelligence, stamina, and above all, teamwork. If lions rely on brute force and cheetahs on breathtaking speed, wolves rely on collective strategy. They are the special forces of the wild, where every member knows their role. Together, they read the movements of prey, coordinate with precision, and bring down animals often far larger than themselves. Wolves rarely waste their time on small prey. Their targets are the great herbivores, deer, bison, caribou. But these animals are no easy meal. Deer can sprint with agility and speed, while bison can counterattack with massive horns and overwhelming weight. And most of the time, such prey travel in groups, forcing wolves to face not one enemy, but a wall of strength many times greater than their own. Without strategy, wolves would simply exhaust themselves or end up injured. That is why, for them, hunting is always a game of tactics. They must know when to chase, when to stop, and when the perfect moment to strike has come. Do you want to witness more of nature's most brilliant hunters? Then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe now so you won't miss the next journey into the wild. And what makes wolves even more fascinating is their patience. They can shadow a herd of deer for days, waiting for the perfect moment. They do not attack recklessly because a failed strike means wasted energy and potentially fatal injuries. In Canada, observers once recorded a pack following caribou for nearly an entire week before finally targeting a calf too exhausted to keep pace. This shows that their strategy is not only instinct, but also calculation. And if you want to keep uncovering these incredible tactics of the wild, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. When a hunt begins, wolves first detect their prey. With an extraordinary sense of smell, they can pick up a scent from several kilometers away. Once they find the trail, they advance with caution. They do not rush blindly, they observe carefully, searching for weakness, an injured deer, the very young or the very old. In this way, wolves are not just predators. They are nature's physicians, removing the weakest to keep the herd healthy. Often wolves will test their quarry. They approach, probe, and push the herd, watching to see which animal falters. This testing phase can last a long time. Only when the target is clear does the real chase begin. And their pursuit is not a brief sprint, but a relentless long-distance run. Wolves can sustain a chase for 10 to 15 minutes without pause. Few prey animals can endure such pressure. Here, strategy becomes everything. In large hunts, not all wolves do the same job. there are the chasers, who harry the prey, driving it into panic and isolating it from the herd. There are the cutters, who swing wide and block escape routes. Then the ambushers, who wait at key points to strike. And finally the finishers, often the alpha or strongest adults, who bring the exhausted animal down. It is a coordinated dance of survival, a masterpiece of instinct and strategy. And if you are captivated by this wild intelligence, make sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss the next chapter of the hunt. Wolves strike with precision. They clamp onto the hind legs or the flanks to topple their prey, then focus their bites on the throat, the muzzle, or the belly, vulnerable points that drain strength quickly. Their coordination feels almost military. No words are spoken, but through body language, eye contact, and pack intuition, every move flows in perfect synchrony. Hunting is costly in terms of energy. That is why wolves are selective. They target the weak, the old, the sick, or the young. By doing so, they minimize risk of injury, conserve strength, and without knowing it, help keep prey populations healthy. In this way, wolves are not just hunters. They are guardians of the balance. If this fascinates you, remember to like the video and subscribe, because more incredible truths about predators await. Once the prey finally collapses, an unwritten rule takes over. The alpha pair feeds first. This is not greed, but responsibility. As leaders, they secure their own strength to protect the pack. Then the other adults feed, and finally the pups and the omegas. Even the last ones to eat still receive a fair share. Often, adults will even carry food back to the den for the youngest mouths to feed. Yet even with such intelligence, not every hunt succeeds. In fact, wolves succeed only about 10 to 20% of the time. Out of 10 hunts, maybe 1 or 2 will end in victory. But failure is not the end. Wolves adapt, refine their tactics, and try again. This relentless resilience is one of the reasons they have endured for thousands of years. The wolf is a creature of the pack, and for them, the pack is more than a group. It is a home, a place of birth, of learning, of love. Packs usually range from 5 to 15 members, though in prey-rich lands, they can swell to 30. Within are the alpha pair, their offspring across generations, and sometimes outsiders welcomed into the fold. Together, they are a family bound by order, duty, and affection. If humans have kingdoms, republics, or bureaucracies, wolves too live within a pack that mirrors a structured society, a miniature nation of the wild, where every individual has a role, rights, duties, and limits. This order is the foundation that allows wolves to live together in relative peace. And if you're enjoying this dive into their hidden world, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more stories of nature's secret empires. At the heart of this hierarchy stand the alpha male and female. Yet leadership here is not tyranny. Studies reveal that alphas behave less like dictators and more like parents. They lead through experience, wisdom, and their role as the biological core of the pack. They mate for life, raise their young together, guide hunts, and guard territory. Yes, they often eat first after a kill, but not out of greed. It is a mechanism to ensure the entire pack remains strong and fed. In truth, the alpha wolf is not the fiercest, but the most respected. One of the most fascinating displays inside a pack is the ritual of dominance. When an alpha asserts authority, it may stand tall, tail raised, eyes piercing, while the subordinate lowers its body, tucks its tail, or licks the alpha's muzzle. Rarely is violence needed. These gestures are symbolic, echoes of political theatre, where posture and presence are enough to confirm status. Beneath the alphas stands the beta wolf, the second in command, guardian of balance, the quiet deputy of the wilderness. The beta enforces discipline, mediates disputes, and often leads hunts if the alpha pair are tending pups. Betas are usually strong, socially intelligent adults, candidates to rise as alpha if leadership falters. And then, at the bottom, there is the omega, the humble one, often underestimated, yet vital. The omega absorbs tension, diffuses aggression, and in its own way, preserves harmony within the pack. Even in this harsh wilderness nation, every role matters, every voice counts. This is the democracy of survival. Many misunderstand the role of the omega wolf, dismissing it as weak or useless. In truth, the omega carries a burden that holds the pack together. By absorbing tension and frustration, especially after failed hunts, they prevent conflict from tearing the family apart. Their position at the bottom is not weakness, but sacrifice, a hidden balance that keeps unity alive. And if you value uncovering these truths of the wild, don't forget to subscribe and like. It helps us keep exploring deeper into nature's hidden kingdoms. Omegas are often the ones who play with the pups, giving them joy and extra care. They are not just outcasts, but guardians of peace, caretakers of the young, and sometimes with courage and cunning, they can even rise in rank. Their silent role proves that every member, no matter how lowly, is vital to the pack's survival. For wolves, pups are the most precious treasure. Every member, siblings, aunts, uncles, even the omega, helps raise and protect them. Hunters returning from the chase will regurgitate half-digested food to feed the young, and the pups, in turn, learn by imitation, stalking, chasing, and playing mock hunts with their brothers and sisters. This is their training ground, their first steps into the art of survival. Beyond their hierarchy, wolves have long been symbols of loyalty in human culture. Their social bonds reveal that love, family, and lifelong commitment are not unique to us. Wolves marry for life, nurture their children together, and even share grief. When one of the alpha pair dies, the survivor may refuse to take another mate, remaining faithful until the end. Like humanity, wolves know love, loss, and loyalty. And within their hidden nation of the wild, they remind us that survival is not just about strength, but about unity. There are even cases of male wolves who chose to live in solitude for years after losing their mate, a testament to a loyalty that goes beyond survival. Wolves show affection not only through monogamy, but also in their daily gestures. They lick each other's muzzles as signs of respect, love, and unity. Pups do it to beg for food, while adults do it as acknowledgement of hierarchy and bond. Playfulness is another thread of their social fabric. Wolves don't stop playing once they grow up. They chase, wrestle, and mock fight to release tension and strengthen ties. Their bodies touch often. They sleep pressed together, share warmth, and rub against one another to reaffirm closeness. And then there are the howls. Those haunting voices are not only communication, but also rituals of belonging, collective songs that bind the family in a chorus of survival. If this fascinates you, remember to like and subscribe, so we can keep unveiling these wonders of the wild. Death too carries weight in a wolf's world. When one falls, the pack sometimes halts their hunts, howling long laments into the wilderness, as if to honor their kin. Observers have recorded wolves returning for days to the very place where a companion died, their presence lingering like mourners at a grave. We must be cautious not to humanize too far, yet the evidence suggests that wolves respond not just with instinct, but with emotion. Beyond their hunts, their loyalty, their grief, wolves are masters of communication. Their language is rich: howls, growls, whines, ear movements, tail signals, body contact, all woven into a code of survival and trust. Their voices echo across valleys not only to mark territory, but to declare, "We are here, we are one." Howls also serve to gather the scattered. When the pack is separated, the haunting cry becomes a beacon, guiding them back together through miles of wilderness. But a howl is not only a call of necessity, it can be celebration. After a successful hunt, wolves often raise their voices in unison, a ritual of unity, a song of victory. Sometimes it is sorrow or longing, a mourning voice for a lost mate or pup. And what is most fascinating? Each wolf carries its own acoustic fingerprint. The pitch, length, and vibration of their howl is so unique that members of the pack can recognize one another, even across 5 to 10 kilometers of empty land. Beyond the howl lies a whole vocabulary of sound. Short, sharp barks warn of threats near the den. Growls signal caution, often in moments of conflict. Whines, softer, pleading, are the voices of pups begging for food or care. High-pitched chirps and quiet whimpers weave through the daily life of the pack, subtle signals of reassurance, of closeness, of intent. Together, these create a language that binds them as tightly as blood. And when the voices fade, the body speaks. A tail raised high declares dominance, most often by the alpha. Held stiff and level, it shows alertness. Tucked between the legs, it confesses fear, surrender. Ears pricked forward sharpen attention, while ears flattened back whisper submission. Eyes, too, are weapons and gifts. Direct gazes challenge, while lowered eyes yield. If there is a predator that has conquered the breadth of continents, it is the wolf. From the frozen frontiers of Alaska to the sweeping grasslands of Mongolia, from Canada's endless forests to the mountain ranges of Eastern Europe, Canis lupus, the grey wolf, reigns. Among the great predators of Earth, few have spread so widely, endured so much, and adapted so brilliantly. Their only rivals, the human race and the animals we command.